Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to tackle one of the most common and, let's be honest, frustrating mistakes in English. But what if I told you the solution is so simple it can be explained with just one little idea? Let's get right into it.
Have you ever found yourself writing or saying something like the sentence on the left? If you've ever felt confused about why that's wrong, trust me, you are not alone. But the good news is we have one simple, powerful trick that is going to fix this mistake for good. All right, let's dive into the one simple rule that really changes everything. For the next few minutes, I want you to try and forget all the complicated grammar lessons you've ever had and just focus on this one core idea, the photo versus the movie rule. To get started, I want you to imagine that every sentence you create exists in one of two separate worlds. First, you've got the still, quiet photo world. This is for things that don't move. And then you've got the action-packed movie world for things that are in motion. Now here's the key. You have to pick one. You can never, ever be in both worlds at the same time.
First up, let's step into the calm and quiet photo world. This entire world is about being, not doing. It's all about states of being, descriptions, and just existing.
I mean, think about what a photograph actually is, right? A person in a photo isn't running, they're not eating, they just are. They exist in that one still moment. And that right there is the entire job of the words am, is, and are. Their only job is to describe existence, not action.
So what kind of things actually live in this still world? Well, descriptions. Things like your name, how you're feeling, where you are, your job, or simple adjectives like blue or tall. See? All of these are just descriptions. They're not actions.
Okay, so here is the absolute key takeaway. Whenever you see the words am, is, or are, I want you to just think of them as a big equal sign, from math class. They pretty much mean the same thing in a sentence.
For instance, the sentence, she is a doctor, is really just a fancy grammatical way of saying she equals a doctor. It's just a statement of fact, a description. No action here, just a simple equation.
And of course, it works for locations too. When we say they are at home, we're basically just stating that they equal the location of home. It's a description of where they are in that moment. It's a perfect snapshot, right? A photo.
And this brings us to the single most important rule of photo world. You ready? Since nothing moves in a photo, you can never put an action word here. A person in a picture can't just suddenly start running, can they? And that's exactly why a sentence like, she is run, is impossible. It completely breaks the rules of photo world. Okay, so I think we understand the still, quiet photo world. Now it's time to leave the photo gallery behind and head over to the cinema. Welcome to the world of action, the movie world. You see, unlike a photo, a movie is all about movement and action. This is the world where people and things actually do stuff. They run, they eat, they sleep, they work. This world is the home of all of our action verbs. And here is the simple, unbreakable rule for this world. If you are in movie world and you're using an action verb, like drink, you cannot use the equal sign from photo world. Remember, is belongs to the still world. In movie world, the action verb is powerful enough to stand all on its own. She drinks water. Simple as that.
Okay, so we know not to mix the two worlds, but that brings up another really common question, doesn't it? Why do we say she drinks, but we say I drink? Where in the world does that little s come from?
Well, the answer is actually in a simple little story about 3 characters. Let's just forget about grammar terms for a second and meet a group we're going to call the lonely ones. Our lonely ones are these 3 pronouns, he, she, and it. And in our story, they're always on their own. He is just one guy. She is just one woman. It is just one thing. They're singular. They're alone.
And because they're lonely, they never do an action all by themselves. Nope, they always bring a friend along for the ride, a little snake that just happens to be shaped like the letter S, and it tags along at the end of every action word. So here's how it all breaks down. Our lonely ones, he, she, and it, they always need their snake S for company. So you get he walks, she eats. But then we have the brave ones, I, you, we, and they. They're not lonely, right? They've got each other. So they don't need a snake. It's just we walk, they eat. No snake needed. And believe it or not, that's the whole system. So let's put it all together into one final checklist that you can literally use every single time you write a sentence.
It all comes down to just a few simple questions. First, just look at your sentence. Is it an action or is it a description? If it's a description, boom, you're in photo world. Use am, is, or are. But if it's an action, okay, you're in movie world. Use the action verb. Then you just ask one last question. Is the person doing the action a lonely one? If it's a he, she, or it, just remember to add their little snake, the S. That is the entire process.
And that brings us right to the end. So here's a final thought I want to leave you with. Just look at this sentence on the screen. The explainer makes grammar easy. Ask yourself, which world is it in? And who are our characters? Once you see it, I promise you'll never forget it.